Welcome back, viewers. This is our first competition in the third round of Scholars Bowl 2003. I'm Diana Morgan, Community Relations Manager of the News Sentinel and moderator of the Scholars Bowl. We're proud to bring to you all of these teams and students today. When they've come this far, they've done a great job. UT's Honor Program presents to you today with us Alcoa High School and West High of Knoxville. Let's go meet our two teams. Alcoa has a little less than 400 students in the town of Alcoa in Blount County. Competing today again is Josh Roth. Josh is a senior. He's captain of the soccer team, has a black belt in karate, and is an Eagle Scout. With him, we have back again Ira Thompson. Ira also is a senior now. He's applying to West Point this year and is involved in 3 sports, including cross-country, wrestling, and soccer. The returning captain for the team, another senior, is Aaron McLean. He is a member of the golf team, and by the way, we mentioned before, he has that 7 handicap. The final member of the Alcoa team for the first half, these are all seniors incidentally, is Sarah McManus. Sarah is planning to run for local and state government someday, and she's interested in filmmaking. The alternates for Alcoa High include Kenny Amburn, Derek Hultquist, Ian Skinner, Ben Thompson, and Rachel Unger. The Alcoa High School team is coached, as it has been for some time, by Ken Brown, who has a triple threat combination at the school. He teaches German, government, and economics. Welcome back, Ken. Now, West High School in Knox County, Knoxville, Tennessee, has over 1,300 students. And back again for them, we have, first of all, Derek Bast. Derek is a sophomore. He plays clarinet in the band and participates in Model UN. You'll also recognize Andrew Whaley. Andrew is a senior now. He's a National Merit Commended Scholar and is captain of the History Bowl. Tong Hao, a senior also, is captain of the West High team. He is in the band. He also is a National Merit Commended Scholar and a member of the Science Olympiad team at West. The remaining member of the team for the first half is Zach Hall. Zach is a junior. He plays tuba in the school band and is in Model UN also. The alternates for West High include Patrick Harrison, Laura Lockwood, Amy Jendrick, Tuo Young Mu. The school's principal, and we're glad to have her with us, is Barbara Jenkins. She's a strong supporter of the Scholars Bowl. And I think viewers, you'll recognize the West High coach, Carolyn Jones, who teaches English at the school. Welcome back. Finally, we're glad to have with us today for this third round competition, Paul Sherbakoff. He is known to many of you viewers from his community activities, and he is on the board of trustees of WSJK WKOP. Mr. Sherbakoff, thanks for coming. Well, this is going to be a good competition today, viewers. I hope you're ready to see how you do on outscoring the teams or trying to keep up with the teams, because surely the key to this is not only the rapid recall of their subjects, but what do they know that they've learned both in school and out. Captains Tong and Aaron, you ready? And teams? Here's our first toss-up. It is a 10-pointer, and it's astronomy. A day on which planet is longer than its year? Alcoa, Aaron.
Mercury.
Incorrect. West. Tong.
Venus.
It is Venus. First score going to West High in astronomy at 10-pointer, and here is your bonus. An earthquake awakens everyone in the Silicon Valley with a Richter scale reading of 6. You may want your pens on this one too. Another tremor felt 200 miles away reads 4 on the same scale. The question is, how many times greater was the quake in the valley comparatively on the Richter scale?
Four.
Incorrect. It was 100 times greater. It is not a natural progression. It goes exponentially. No score on your bonus. Here's a sports toss-up for you teams. In golf, the team ground is divided into 3 sections, with the tee for the most skillful players. West. Tong.
Blue.
It is blue. That is the common color that's used to mark the professional tee. And believe it or not, I have played from the blues. Well, here's your bonus, West, for 20 points. Many cities in the United States, especially those in the former British colonies, are named after famous British citizens. What city in Pennsylvania was named after a British prime minister?
Pittsburgh?
That is correct. For William Pitt, 20 points goes to West. Here's a language arts toss-up for you, 10 teams. A vignette is a literary sketch or verbal description. Spell, West, Andrew.
Vignette.
That's correct for 10 points. And here is your bonus, West. On the basis of their shapes, most bacteria can be placed into one of 3 categories. Now, for 10 points each, what is the formal name given to bacteria which are rod-shaped?
Bacilli?
That is correct for 10. That are spherical in shape.
Coccus?
That is correct. That's a singular. Cocci would be the plural. 20 points on your science. Here's your toss-up for 10. Teams, do you know in what city the world's first subway was built? Alcoa, Ira.
London.
It was London. 10 points. Alcoa, you're on the board, and here is your bonus. We're into literature on this. This is early 20th century authors. Who wrote, for 5 points, The Ambassadors?
Mark Twain.
That was Henry James. The Octopus.
Mark Twain.
Frank Norris. Miniver Cheevy. That was Edward Arlington Robinson. And The Call of the Wild.
Jack London.
Correct for 5 points on your early 20th century literature. Here's a toss-up for 10. Teams, this is music. What is the musical note in the interval of a major third above B flat? Do we accept? West, Tong.
D?
It is D, correct for 10 points. And here is your bonus. This is a literary question. West, it begins with a quarrel between Agamemnon and Achilles, and it ends with Hector's funeral. What is the name of this epic poem?
The Iliad?
Correct for 20 points on world literature. Here's a history toss-up for 10 teams. Which of the 3 ships of Columbus did not complete the round trip? West, Tong.
Santa Maria?
The Santa Maria is correct for 10 on American history, and here's your bonus. I'm going to define 2 of the social sciences, and for 10 points each, name the social science that best fits the description. The science of man in relation to physical character, geographical distribution, environmental and social relations, and culture.
Anthropology?
Correct for 10. The science that investigates the conditions and laws affecting the production, distribution, and consumption of wealth.
Economics.
Economics for 10, 20 points on your definitions. Here's a religious question for you teams for 10 on this toss-up. Wahhabism, W-A-H-H-A-B-I-S-M, is a conservative religious form that is practiced all over the world, including the United States. But of which religion is Wahhabism a part? Alcoa, Sarah.
Islam.
It is Islam, that is correct, and 10 points to Alcoa, good world religion answer. Here is a bonus for you. We place a hand over our hearts, Alcoa, and then we recite, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and the republic for which it stands. Now for 10 points each, who wrote the original version of the pledge?
Francis Scott Key.
It was Francis, but it was Francis Bellamy. And for another 10 points, what 2 words were added in 1954?
Under God.
Under God, correct for 10 points. And I think someone evoked quite a furor recently when he suggested we delete that. Here's a sports toss-up for 10 teams. Who was the first commissioner of Major League Baseball? Some of the viewers will know that was Mountain Landis. No score. Here's a history toss-up for 10. Teams, what was the name of the ship that Charles Darwin sailed aboard? West, Tong.
The Beagle.
Yes, it was the Beagle, the HMS Beagle. Wonder if that was named for his dog. 10 points. Here's your bonus, West. Four-parter, 5 points each. Give 4 of the 5 parts of an animal cell.
Cytoplasm, vacuoles, nucleus, and cell membrane.
That is correct for 20 points. And here is another toss-up for 10. Teams, this is about dancing. I hope you all like to dance. Most dance experts agree that the tango originated in Argentina's most populous city. West, Andrew.
Buenos Aires.
In Buenos Aires for 10 points, and it is one of the most popular sports in Buenos Aires also. Here is a toss-up for you, teams. Name 4 of the 5 basic elements of a short story. 5 points each.
Theme, conflict, characters, and plot.
That is correct for 20 points. Setting would have been the 5th part. Good literature on that. Sure, Mrs. Jones, appreciate you knowing that. Here's a toss-up for 10. Teams, a rainbow is the result of something that happens to sunlight as it passes through West, Tong.
Refraction.
Yes, it is refraction. The sun goes through the moisture in the atmosphere. 10 points. Here is your bonus. January 14th, 1884 was a double tragedy day for Theodore Roosevelt. For 10 points each in American history, what 2 people died on that day who were related to Roosevelt?
His wife and his brother.
His wife is correct. She died in childbirth, and his mother, she died of typhoid. 10 points, West. Here's a social studies toss-up for 10 teens. Give the name for the dry riverbeds in the Sahara Desert. That's a wadi, W-A-D-I. Yeah, you knew that word. Here's an environmental toss-up for you for 10 teens. The federal government says Yucca Mountain is the best site for permanent Alcoa IRA.
Nuclear waste. Nuclear waste storage.
It's incomplete. The question goes to West High. I will complete it for them. It's the best site for permanent burial of high-level nuclear waste. In what state? West, Andrew.
Nevada.
It is in Nevada for 10 on the environment. Here's a bonus for you, West. All roads lead to Rome. That's a common saying, but there are other Italian cities that I hope you're going to visit. Some of them are lovely. So for 5 points each, let's see what you know. At the end of the half, we have to stop. West High of Knoxville is leading Alcoa High with a score of 220 to 35. I would point out that this West High team was the winner of last year's competition, and you're seeing that in the speed of reflection today.
This year's Scholars Bowl competition is a single elimination tournament featuring 56 teams from high schools in our viewing area. Be sure to watch these upcoming games.
The winning team in this year's Scholars Bowl tournament will receive the Scholars Bowl Traveling Trophy. The championship team will also receive a $1,000 stipend from the News Sentinel to be used to travel to the National Academic Team Competition. In addition, the top placing teams will receive plaques identifying their finish in this year's tournament. Also, the University of Tennessee will be presenting the championship team a new computer for their school's use. The judges for this year's Scholars Bowl tournament are Dr. Richard Hobart, retired physician, and Dr. Paul L. Kelly, retired educator and member of the Knox County Board of Education. Both are members of the Board of Trustees of these public TV stations. Also judging this year is Cody Steele, mathematician. Our scorekeeper is Annie Parrott, a public TV volunteer. Scholars Bowl 2003 is made possible in part by grants from the News Sentinel and the University of Tennessee, two area institutions that are interested in showcasing the academic excellence of our area high school students. Each student and coach participating in this year's Scholars Bowl will receive the new Scholars Bowl t-shirt. If you'd like to enter your high school team in next year's Scholars Bowl, or for more information or comments on this year's tournament, write to the address shown on the screen.
And welcome back, viewers. Remember, the score at the break was West High of Knoxville 220, Alcoa High of Alcoa 35. Ken Brown, our German and Econ teacher at Alcoa, has brought in one alternate for his team for the second half. This is Derek Holtquist, and Derek is a senior at Alcoa. And welcome, Derek. We're glad to have you with us. Carolyn Jones, our English teacher who coaches West High, has brought in two alternates, both of whom have been with us in the past. This is Tuo Young Mu, who is a junior. Is correct, Tuo Young? And with him, we have also Laura Lockwood, and Laura is a senior. Welcome also to you, Laura. And alternates, let me remind you to ring in your responses before you begin your answer. Ready for the second half now, viewers? Score yourself, see how you do. These are hard questions, many of them. We're going to start off with a world religion question here, teams, for 10. Followers of Hinduism consider the waters west, Tom.
Ganges.
Yes, the Ganges River in India is considered to be sacred by the Hindi. 10 points for that. Let's go back to Rome and to Italy west. You didn't get that question before the break. This is a three-parter, 5 points each, and an extra 5. Of Milan and Naples, which city is further south?
Naples.
Correct for 5 on geography. Of Venice, Rome, and Genoa, which is the furthest east?
Venice.
Correct for 5. Of Florence, Rome, Milan, and Naples, which two are the closest together? Florence, Rome, Milan, and Naples.
Rome and Milan.
Incorrect. That's Rome and Naples. They're only about 120 miles apart, but 10 points on your other answers. Here's a music toss-up, teams, for 10 points. Who composed the opera The Magic Flute? West, Tom.
Mozart.
It was Mozart. Zauberflöte, or Der Zauberflöte, whichever. I'd ask Ken Brown that. 10 points. Here's your bonus. Now, think carefully on this one, West. For 10 points apiece, these answers must start with an A and end with T-I-O-N. For example, like the word attention. A form, reproof, or warning is called?
Admonition.
Correct for 10. Another word for estrangement is?
Alienation.
Correct for 10, 20 points. Here's a current events toss-up, teams, for 10. On November 27th, President Bush named the person to lead an independent investigation. West, Tom.
Ridge.
Incorrect. I will complete it for Alcoa. He named the person to lead an independent investigation of the September 11th attacks and said the probe must uncover every detail and learn every lesson of the terrorist strikes. Who is heading that investigation? Aaron?
Colin Powell.
Incorrect. Henry Kissinger, brought back from history almost to do this. Yes. Do not, remember, discuss with your team during a toss-up, only during a bonus. Here's a toss-up for you for 10 teams. This kills germs, it bleaches, and it purifies water. Up in the stratosphere, it absorbs West Kong.
Ozone.
It is ozone. 10 points on your science, and here is another religious bonus for you. The Protestants are the largest religious group in the United States, but for 5 points each, name 4 of the top five most populous Protestant organizations. 4 of the top 5 most populous.
Episcopalian, Methodist, Baptist, and Presbyterian.
Methodist is correct. Baptist is correct for 10 points. The others would be Pentecostals, Lutherans, and Mormons. So 10 points on that bonus, West. Here's a toss-up for 10. It's mathematics teams. If the cosine of a fourth quadrant angle is 15 over 17, what is the tangent of this angle? Alcoa, Aaron.
17 over 15.
Incorrect. West. Twong Young.
Negative 17 over 15.
Incorrect. It's a negative 18 over 15. No score on that one. Here's a sports toss-up for you. Teams for 10. 28-year-old Theo Epstein became the youngest general manager in big league history when he was hired by which team? Alcoa, Derek.
Cardinals.
Incorrect. West. After the bell, that was the Boston Red Sox. No score on that. Here's an American history toss-up. Teams named the leader of the corrupt Tammany Hall ring. West, Andrew.
Tweed.
Yes, William Boss Tweed, and it ran New York City in the late 19th century. 10 points. Here is a bonus for you for 20. In what species of deer will you find antlers on both the male and the female?
Caribou.
Caribou for 20. Here is a toss-up for 10 teams. We're back to music. Which French-born composer of the 19th century is probably best known for his opera Carmen? West, Tuo Young.
George Bizet.
Bizet is correct for 10. Here is your bonus. We're into world geography here. 10 points each on European rivers. The 505-mile river that springs from a glacier in upper Switzerland passes through the Lake of Geneva, enters France, separates the Aries into two branches, and enters the Mediterranean west of Marseille, and it is?
The Rhone.
The Rhone for 10. The Polish river that flows from the Carpathians to the Baltic Sea is?
The Vistula.
The Vistula for 20 points. Good world geography. Teams for 10. Planning a career requires foresight. Spell. West, Tong.
Foresight.
Correct for 10 points. Here's your bonus. I'm going to give you two definitions, and for 10 points each, West, you give me the words, which incidentally may also be masculine names. An instrument for amplifying sound is?
Mike.
Correct for 10. An account of money owed is?
Bill.
Correct for 20 points in all. Here's your toss-up for 10 teams. This is literature. Nathaniel Hawthorne's novel, The Scarlet Letter, dealt with sin and guilt among members of which religion? Alcoa, Aaron.
Puritan.
Puritans for 10. Here you go. For 5 points each, Alcoa, give the 4 major parts of a flower.
Stem. Stem. Stem.
Petal,
Correct.
pistil,
Correct.
stamen, and stem.
That petal, pistil, stamen are correct for 15. Sepals would have been the 4th part. 15 points. Here's a toss-up for 10. Teams, name the artist who worked with John Bachman on painting the viviparous quadrupeds of North America. West, Tong.
Audubon.
It was Audubon. That was 1842 to 1854. 10 points. Here is your bonus. Now, people see things, but few people really observe what they're looking at. So for 5 points each, answer these 4 questions by saying right or left. Does the Statue of Liberty have her right or her left hand raised?
Right.
Right.
Correct for 5. Is Washington facing to your right or your left on the dollar bill?
Right.
Correct. In any book, is page 121 a right-handed page or a left-handed page?
Right.
Correct. Is the hot water faucet in a basin to your right or your left as you face it?
Left.
Correct, if the plumber installed it right. 20 points on that. Here's a mathematics toss-up for 10 teams. Solve. Y equals 3 minus x, and y minus x equals 1. Solve for x and y. West, Tong.
Y is equal to 4 and 3 is, then X equals to negative 1.
Incorrect. Alcoa. No answer. X equals 1 and Y equals 2. No score. Here's an American history toss-up for 10 teams. A full, free, and absolute pardon was West. Andrew.
Nixon.
Incorrect. I'm going to complete it for Alcoa. It was granted to former President Richard Nixon. By whom? Alcoa. Aaron.
Gerald Ford.
Gerald Ford for 10, and here is your bonus. This deals with history. You'll get 20 points for the correct answer on the first clue, 15 points on the second, 10 points on the third. It was a Civil War battle.
Gettysburg.
Incorrect. Its name appears in the Bible in the book of Joshua.
Shiloh.
Shiloh for 15 points on your bonus. Here's a toss-up. Teams, quote, one should try to stand still around a bee, end quote. What part of speech is still in this sentence? It's a tie. Both rang in. The answer, viewers, it was an adverb. Here's a toss-up for 10. But that is the end of the game. Very strong team. West High with 410 to Alcoa High, 85 points. Viewers, give them a hand. We always enjoy having them with us. Hope we'll see you tomorrow. We're heading into those finals soon. Goodbye from UT and the News Sentinel.